Hey, what's happening, everybody? I brought you to the hills of Santa Barbara, and I brought you up here because I wanted to share with you all 4 tips for success. And these tips you can apply to virtually any aspect of your life. Relationships, your fitness, your financial success, whatever you think of. If there's an area of your life you want to be successful in, these tips will virtually ensure your success in it, as long as you do them. Number 1, when Steve Jobs was the CEO of Apple, he had this obsessive attention to detail. He was so passionate about bringing Apple products and making them not only beautiful to look at, but smoothly operating systems. He was involved in every single aspect of it, making sure the edges were a certain shape and the material was a certain type of material to separate Apple from the competitors. In fact, days leading up to his death, Jobs was still known to be looking over the latest Apple technology. Why? Because he had this obsessive passion behind it. So many of us go into something with one foot in the door, one foot out. Always leaning back on that back leg, looking for the exit if we need it. Afraid to commit all in. You have to develop a passion for something. Relationship, your business, your health, your fitness, it needs to be in your obsessive passion. The most important thing to you that you just focus in on it with such intensity that every single detail is noticed and taken care of. Several years ago, Kobe Bryant was invited to be on the basketball team for the Olympics. Keeping in mind, Kobe Bryant at this point, he had some success, right? Won a couple NBA championships, was regarded as one of the greatest players of all time. And Kobe Bryant, before practice would start, he would get up at 4 a.m. And from 4:30 in the morning until 6 a.m., he'd run wind sprints. After he finished his wind sprints, from 6 to 7:30 in the morning, he'd lift weights. After he finished lifting weights, about 7:30, 8 o'clock, he'd start shooting jump shots. And he'd shoot hundreds and hundreds of jump shots until 11 a.m., practicing over and over the repetition of committing to mastering a shot. Now, keep in mind, this is Kobe Bryant. He doesn't need to do this at this point. And then practice would start and the rest of the team would show up. Most of us, we jump into things looking for this get-rich-quick thing. I want this instant gratification. I want the pill, the magic pill that'll make it all go away like that. I said Kobe Bryant didn't need to do that anymore because he was Kobe Bryant. But what made him Kobe Bryant was because every day he got up and did that. He committed to mastery. He was in it for the long haul. He never stopped and practiced. He never stopped practicing. He never stopped refining his game. What made Kobe Bryant was the fact that he got up and did that every day. None of the other team was there. It was just Kobe. Behind the closed doors, behind the lights, with the lights turned off, he was there committing to mastery, committed for the long haul, to mastering his craft, to perfecting what he did. If you want to be successful in anything, you've got to commit to the long haul. Commit to mastery. In the late 90s and early 2000s, the game of basketball really took on an interesting change. You had all these young players coming into the league, and you'd see them, going and doing the crossover, dribbling down the court, jumping up, slamming the ball down for a slam dunk. And what you saw, which seems so common with so many of the younger players, was this. The tongue hanging out. Why was that? Because so many of these kids grew up on the playground emulating the movements of Michael Jordan. Every single one of them, how he dribbled, how he shot, down to his trademark tongue hanging out. They modeled Jordan's game and they used it to practice over and over again. You want to be successful at anything in your life? Find a model of excellence. Someone who has accomplished something at the level that you want to achieve to, do what they've did. Do what they've done. Right? These kids were outside dribbling, shooting like Jordan, crossing over like Jordan, jumping like Jordan, tongue hanging out like Jordan. So you had these new players coming in the league, complete with Jordan's moves, tongue out and toe, because they had modeled. He was their model of excellence. You want to be successful in anything? Find a model of excellence. UCLA basketball in the 60s and 70s was probably one of the most successful basketball programs in history. And Coach John Wooden was regarded as and is still regarded as one of the winningest coaches of all time, easily one of the most successful. UCLA won something like, 8 championships in a row or in a short period of time. I can't remember what the exact number is. And when John Wooden was asked what he attributed his success to, he said something like this. I would challenge my guys every day to be their best. And what that meant is at the end of the game, if I could look each of them in the eye and ask them if they gave their best and they could respond yes, then we were successful. Sometimes at the end, the score was in our favor and we'd won. Sometimes at the end, the score wasn't in our favor and we'd lost. If we'd won and they couldn't tell me they'd given their best, we weren't successful. My job as a coach was each and every day to bring the absolute best out of the men I coached. So powerful. Success tip number 4, if you want to be successful, get a mentor and coach. You see, there's really a couple paths we can choose whenever we're trying something new, we're pursuing a new endeavor, or we're trying to get better at something. Path 1 is the one where we find the proverbial wall and we bang our head into it over and over until something gives, either our head or the wall. You can be successful that way. The path of going alone. You can try and hack your way through it, and eventually you may get there if you don't give up along the way. The other option is find a mentor, find a coach, somebody who's already blazed a trail and can literally guide you and sidestep all the obstacles, all the challenges, and get you from where you are to where you want to be right away. Right? Think about professional sports. Do you see professional sports teams without a coach? No. Why not? You have these teams with amazingly talented individuals. But it takes a coach to harness all their individual talents and focus them as a team to achieve a common goal. If you're trying to learn a new skill, do you go to classrooms and you see classrooms without teachers? No. Because it's the same idea. The teacher is there as a figurehead to help the students learn the quickest and most effective ways to learn their subjects, to become masters of them. When you start a new job, how beneficial is it to have a mentor, have somebody jump in there and help you learn the company policies, where everything's at, how to do this and that. Mentorship and coaching has been around since the dawn of time, and it is one of the single most effective ways to get from where you are to where you want to be. So success tip number 4 is if you want to be successful at something, get a mentor or coach. All right, real quick recap. 4 tips to success in virtually any aspect of your life. Number 1, develop an obsessive-like passion for something. Be passionate about what you're doing. Be obsessive about the details of it. Number 2, commit to the long haul. Commit to a path to mastery. Remember, most people are 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Go all in. Go all in. Commit to the long haul. Commit to being the master. Number 3, the model of excellence. Find a model and just do what they've done. Remember Michael Jordan. And lastly, success tip number 4, get a mentor, get a coach. I hope this has been of value to you. I encourage you to immediately, as soon as you finish watching this video, take some sort of action moving towards this. Think about what it is you want to accomplish. Think about how you can start applying these tips towards that right away and do something to put it in motion. The worst thing you can do is turn this off and say, wow, that was good. That was some good stuff, and then do nothing. Please, please, please do something.